Hello everybody, welcome to another daily dose of gaming news and all that good stuff. And as always, I try to sync up the best I can. I give my best, but seems that Rumble and YouTube are not getting along too well. I think the last one is from 6 October, the last time that managed to sync, but yeah. Everything is here and also on Patreon and my blogger here. I always post also on my blogger to keep like an archive of everything that I post there. And yeah, later today, I see if I can manage to then publish the Void Busters episode. It's going along well. We're trying to figure out how to do certain things here to continue to progress the story. Certain items there. Not much happening. Some things here and there. We got a promo on the Ryzen 7800 X3D, which is at the moment in terms of price to performance the best CPU for gaming on the market, and it got basically $100 discount on Newegg, which is pretty good given that at the moment it compares itself basically with the 7700X CPU from AMD, which is very excellent. It's the one that I have. At the time I didn't buy the X3D because it was way too above the budget that I had for me, or else I for sure would go with this the X3D one. But at the moment it's basically just like $20 apart, give or take, 15 basically. No, 25. Sorry, doing my math in my head, but I'm not a math professor here. But yeah, around $25 difference. Basically, I think it's all around the X3D ones, but again, if you have the money, this is the best one to buy at the moment. It costs way less than a Intel offering that performs around the same thing here. I think it's like $600. The i7 and i9 CPUs that give the same performance, give or take. And yeah, the other ones, the X3D, it's way too above what it offers in terms of performance, way too above. In terms of X3D, I think that the 7800 is the best one. Maybe the 7900, but then they have the dual not MCDs, the dual chip thing there. It has, I think it's still got some issues there in terms of how Windows can schedule the things between each of the chips there, because only one of those has the X3D Vcache there, while this one is an 8-core, and there is usually no issues with that, especially in gaming. I think it's the workloads on gaming that deals a lot, and the fact that you can have like a mid-range, even an entry-level AM5, even oh my god, I forgot the name of the chipsets. It's the not 620, it's the other one. I completely forgot. Like even an entry level without being the A1. I really forgot completely what's the number of the chipset of the AMD. I've got one. I got my motherboard, my MSI, and I forget the thing there. I should have the description on my PC part. That board is very good. It's relatively cheap. It can handle any CPU with the AM5. But yeah, like entry to mid-range motherboard, because it doesn't support like overclocking, because of the Vcache is relatively sensitive to temperature. So that's why you just put it on stock and still performs decently better than the 7700X in terms of gaming. But in terms of productivity, the 7700X has a lead on that, because you can because it can handle more frequencies. Usually productivity works has to do with frequencies, and it can be tuned up a little bit in terms of overclocking. But yeah, in terms of gaming, the 7800 X3D for now it's king, at least my opinion regarding price to performance, and especially with this promotion here, it's pretty good. And even DDR5, they are relatively cheap still, I think. I didn't follow up too much on the hardware prices, but it's still relatively cheap to have like a decent CL32, 34, 6000 speed, sticks of RAM. I advise 32 gigabytes just in case you do some some productivity work. There is better DDR5 memories, but they are way too expensive for what they do, and there is like no huge gains on that. And given that 6000, it's like the sweet spot at the moment for AMD CPUs to be like the one-on-one stepping or whatever it's called. But yeah, I managed to get the Lexar again. In the description there is a link to my PC part picker list. That Lexar is pretty good. I don't have any issues at the moment. Until now, I didn't have any issues. I managed to overclock her to CL30, and it's stable. The system is stable. I don't have any crashes. It managed to handle pretty well. So I don't know what to tell you. This one it's king at the moment, especially with this discount. Don't forget you have to put like the code for the extra what it says here. I forget which one it is. There should be this one, tech whatever this is, depending on the CPU. So tech ECC XA56 to get that extra $50 here, which is always good. In terms of gaming, we might get some news soon regarding Silent Hill 2 Remake. I think I covered this a few days ago, or almost a week, that there was a leak that supposedly the game will be launched early next year. We are in October. I assume, given that it's a horror psychological game, I think we have some news during this month. Also, there was some movement on the Steam page, especially on SteamDB, which is the database. They updated some subtitles, and the fact that they basically added Steam achievements. Usually they are introduced when game development is drawing to a close, so we might see something here and there. Also, the actor Luke Roberts was one of those that said that it was targeting for early 2024. It came in until June, so it's early in the year. Until the middle of the year, it's always early in the year. Again, supposedly the game will be very faithful. I think the main thing that is going to happen is the camera angles. I think it's going to be like third person over the shoulder kind of a thing there. However, they will be stick to the original story canon, and of course improve combat and remade enemy AI. Bloober Team usually does decent job. I think they did the Demon Souls, not mistaken. I think they were the ones that did. But yeah, we'll see how it goes. There is other stuff here, like the interactive streaming series going to debut by the end of this month. Yeah, I'm not so keen on this, the Silent Hill Ascension, mainly because it's made by Bad Robot, if not mistaken, and those guys is just not even a hit and miss. It's always a miss by the end of the day. So they might get pretty decent thing in the beginning, but they will fumble along the way. We'll see how it goes. If we get any news, of course, I will let you know. Never played the Silent Hill game, but always one of those games that was basically console exclusive to a certain point, and I never managed to get around and play one of them. I'm always interested in decent horror franchises, like even Resident Evil, Silent Hill franchise. That it's one of those that is a reference regarding that. But yeah, we got also Lords of Fallen previews. They're coming here and there, appearing some previews of the game itself. The overall thoughts that I've been seeing around it's very, very good. The inspirations they took from Dark Souls and some of the stuff that they brought from the previous games, it's only the good things. You got also the combat, it's very fluid. Very interesting how they managed to go about it regarding classes and kind of tools that you can use, magic, all that stuff. The system of health, it's similar to a certain extent to Bloodborne, which is you get hit and then you have like that window of time, if you don't get hit, to hit an enemy to regain some of the health that you lost. The system there, because the block works, but it's not like Dark Souls when you have like some shields that do 100% physical damage blocking. Doesn't work like that, so you have this kind of more dynamic combat approach to the enemies. The moveset seems pretty varied and all around good. The magic types we have like 3 or 4, no 3, which is like the Umbral, Inferno, and Radiant. So basically it's more similar like Miracles, so healing and all that stuff, and some buffs here. Inferno is like Pyromancy, and Umbral it's basically dark magic or something like that, because of the other world that you can draw upon. Plus the character progression and equipment, I think works similar to Dark Souls kind of there. The gameplay loop, they always they said that it seems pretty good. You always have a sense of trying to discover new things. There are a lot of hidden stuff there. The way you also have to go around with Uberwhelm, the way it plays out on level design and everything seems pretty decent from everybody's played in those areas and try to experiment with that gameplay mechanic there. And then we got the also how Vestiges is, which is basically bonfires, how they work. Boss fight seems pretty great from what people have experienced also. And then we got a little bit of the NPC and Skyrat's Bridge, which I think is like the main hub. And the NPCs is very similar how they handled in Dark Souls. They are very mysterious. You're kind of always in a doubt if you're doing good or not. So it will, for sure it will require several playthroughs for you to get around. In terms of performance, the preview build, again, this is a preview, not a review, so the preview build seems pretty stable. Only like one crash here and there, 1 or 2 bugs, but not game-breaking bugs, so it seems pretty decent, and in terms of performance, seems pretty stable, like not amount of huge stutters, of course, few here and there, for sure it's like have to do with the areas that are loading in the background, something like that. Maybe some CPU optimization, which I think it's one of the big hurdles that people are getting into, especially with the Epic Engine. Epic Engine seems to, developers don't seem to properly tune up the CPU performance there in terms of optimization. But yeah, it seems pretty good. I caught up this article from Faxel Live, but from YouTube that I've been checking a lot of people that are doing the previews here, that they have an overall good impression, and this is one of those that it's maybe to play out before the Elden Ring DLC comes out. I don't know, we'll see. But yeah, for news, this is it. I'm just going to wrap up with some gaming deals. We got Cocoon still, it's 20% off until the 13th, so around 4 days or so until the deal is off. Again, overwhelming positive adventure, puzzle and platformer. This got me very interested, and it seems to deliver the goods here. Again, 20% off, so around $20 for an excellent game. It's always a good deal. And Kunamy is delivering very good in terms of publishing good games, especially indie ones. And yeah, this is a one to, if you cannot buy, at least to keep on your wish list. Also, we got Wartales, again, very similar to Jagged Alliance in terms of how it plays, so a little bit XCOM here, squad management, and a band of mercenaries, I think, in a more fantasy-driven kind of world here. Squad based, like the upgrades, everything, turn-based in terms of combat, seems pretty good. Very positive reviews. 20% off, it's one of those, and it's being updated regularly, so it gets the support it needs from what I've been seeing. Also, we got Elden Ring, it's still 34% off. The promotion is until the 19th, so I think it's a good way of, at least if you want, buying the Elden Ring Deluxe Edition, which will bring the DLC. But yeah, it's one of these games that I also want to play out one of these days when I can, and probably make a series. I don't know, this kind of games is always difficult to make a series, because you get lost like 3-4 hours at a time, and it's a lot to digest. And finally, we got Planet of Lana, very excellent platformer adventure, like silent protagonist from what I can understand, and got a lot of platforming and puzzling. Seems pretty good, very positive reviews, around 94, which is excellent for a platformer, and it's 25% off, ends in 21st of October, around $50, and from the reviews at the time that I saw, again, very positive, not any major issues. It's very good. and how they tell the story through the environment and the things you go about it. And yeah, this is it for today. Very slow day, but again, it's Monday. It's always a slow day. I'm just going to wrap up with a plugin for my Patreon for extra support. Again, the extra support will be mainly for storage at the moment, mainly to have backups of projects for my private clients, and of course for the recordings that I do for the channel. That's why I need basically the storage. It's my main worry at the moment. But yeah, I hope you have a full day, and I will see you in the next one. So until then, Kunamy Master out.